All right, so all of my warm-ups recently have been kind of writing focused, so I've decided to do a you focused one today. So. Favorite meal? I don't know. I didn't think I'd ask this one. I thought I'd ask some variation of it.
Yeah, you didn't say meal, you just said food.
Yeah. Well, again, a meal is like everything.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, mine's gonna be one list.
Boneless?
Oh, what? Oh, that's your
No,
favorite? Yeah, that's your favorite.
bro.
No, don't even say no.
Well, something is way better than boneless.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
I'm not thank you for letting me know. All right, so I'll give you an example. Never mind, I'm not.
Dang, you should smack that phone.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could you please find a link for the attachment of your email? Thank you, with all happy.
Okay. So my example of my favorite meal is every New Year's Day. My daughter, she's my stepdaughter, so we actually go to her like biological dad's house because we're all in like good terms and stuff, which can be unusual for.
That is very unusual.
Yeah, I know. So we actually go hang out at her other dad's side of the family, and we have that side of the family is Japanese, so they make like homemade sushi every New Year's, which is like this freaking bomb. So it's so we all go over there, have sashimi, and stuff like that, and that's probably my favorite meal. So yeah.
Sushi.
I mean, I love sushi, but specifically that one, just because it's like it's homemade. It's a lot of fun. They do some things that aren't like as typical, like in like an actual Japanese restaurant. More like family recipe kind of stuff. What's that? Speaking of which, I'm going to the next trainer.
Oh.
I forgot.
Yeah, oh god, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I love it. I haven't had Korean
I didn't
in
even ask you.
probably like 4 years or something like that. I love
I have like other friends. Some of them are just like always and I was like, all right, sure, good. And they'll tell me, I'm like, I'll try it.
Yeah. It's always better to get like homemade stuff at someone's house than it is at a restaurant that's usually a little
At the
more.
restaurant, it's like, actually,
Yeah.
I mean, you know how one of them. I don't. Like I have.
Want to make a new song?
The whole thing. No. Right now. Maybe biology. For sure. Well.
All right, Brandon, what's your favorite meal?
So I know I'm gonna get guessed for this.
And that's a great way to start it off. So
Yeah.
perfect.
I'm gonna get guessed for this thing. These are really cute chapter.
Okay, well, why?
It's called mole. It's like
Oh, what's wrong?
nah, it's freaking good. Okay, my grandma makes the best.
What's wrong with it?
It's good.
What's wrong with
Okay,
mole?
pozole is
It's
like
not that
okay.
bad, just that
Pozole is better than.
it's not the best. I think.
Well, maybe you haven't had good mole.
No,
Yeah, you probably haven't had good
Trust me,
mole.
I've had good one.
Oh, like it's
I
English?
like it's I like it, but it's not like I
It's
could have
good.
every day.
Alright, well, since you're very opinionated, what's yours?
Personally, I'm more like a big protein person, so like I'll eat it like this like maybe like 3 times. So like tomahawk steak with like vinegar, like and
Oh, that's that
baked
rich.
potatoes,
Dang,
salted asparagus, and then like with macaroni salad.
Oh my god.
that sounds intense.
That's
Like,
like-
that's artery clogging right there.
That sounds like it'd be like this.
Have you seen a tomahawk steak? You know what that is?
I
It's
do.
like, it's like the big bone that like comes
Yeah.
out the side. Yeah. Alright. Anybody else want to share theirs?
I already showed you.
Oh, I know, but
I don't know
you
what
don't even know what it's called. So it's that one noodle that, you know,
It's just
it's just noodles, but, you know, Korean. At first, when I first saw it on this side, I thought it was spaghetti, but then I was like, oh, wait, there's a
Oh,
ring.
wow.
And I was like, what is this called? But yeah, I was like, oh, the sesame seeds and green onions, like, probably not.
I mean, I guess also octopus, I guess.
I like octopus. Now, do you know the Japanese name for it? Taco.
Oh, yeah.
T-A-K-O.
And I'm taking classes for Japanese.
Are you?
Yeah.
Should have gone on our Japan trip.
Oh my god, bro. Don't even say that. As soon as you said that, I was like, why wasn't I in your stuff?
I know. Well, I announced it last year, but everybody was kind of half checked out last year. So,
Yeah.
anybody else want to share anything though about what their favorite meal is? Anybody got a good one, unusual one?
Well, unusual, no.
No. No. Alligator. The Florida diet.
Of course.
Okay. All right. So we are going to move on. I gave you the chance, but all right. So we're finishing evidence collection today. After we're done with this, I'm giving you guys just 20 minutes, and then I'm going to explain the next part of it. This is like 80% of your essay. Like you do this, you are 80% done with it. So I mean, it's definitely it'll help you like with the writing process, getting everything finished. So after we're done with evidence collection, I'm going to go over how to turn all your evidence and your explanations into body paragraphs. They're essentially brief writes, but there are a couple of differences between the brief write paragraphs and your essay paragraph. So obviously a brief write, we usually only spend like a day on. So, but this is, again, obviously we're basically writing 4 brief writes and an introduction and a conclusion. That's what an essay is. So also, and I told first period this, and I'll tell you guys too, that sometimes you have to do work at home. I know it's a crazy concept. Sometimes it's called home work. Weird. I just invented it. But I'm just telling you now because I don't give you guys a lot of homework. Some of you guys need to do more of the stuff. Basically, the only homework I give you is stuff we don't finish in class. But some of you guys really need to step that part up because next year American Lit is going to kick your butt.
Who?
American Lit. That's not a person, it's a class. But I'm just telling you guys, they do a lot more reading at home, writing at home. So I'm just trying to get you guys like prepared, bridging like the quarantine year of last year to American Lit next year. It will be a little more intense. So I'm just again trying to build up your guys' work ethic so you guys aren't like shell shocked when you guys get there. Okay. But anyway, so I'm gonna give you 20 minutes. Remember, this is the thing that we started last Wednesday. We worked on it yesterday as well. It's the one with the boxes. So you need to have all 5 stories, evidence, explanations. Remember, it's 2 to 3 sentences of explanations. Once they're done with it, please submit it. And then after the 20-minute timer's up, I'm going to go over the body paragraphs with you guys about how to, again, convert them into essay body paragraphs. So, all right, 20 minutes. If you have questions, let me know. I'll come around and help you out if you need it. I'll send it out on Remind, okay?
Was scheduled for tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's all curious.
Well, I know, but, some people like to know when class ends. So basically, they're 47-minute periods, but it does start at 9:15 like normal, so. We're just working on the evidence collection stuff right now, okay? All right, in just under 7 minutes. I've got a few people who've turned it in, but obviously I need to get the majority of you submitting this sooner rather than later and make sure that you have all 5 stories done. Play Apache notes real quick and then we'll continue. Just kidding, again, the phone is up.
Good morning, Singer High. I'm Ivan Rodriguez, Bureau of Education for November 9th, 2021. Any ladies interested in playing softball this year? There are practices every Tuesday and Wednesday after school for the next few weeks. If you have any questions, see Coach Pennington in room 1308. Are you an aspiring writer who needs some help getting started? Join the library team for NaNoWriMo. What's that, you ask? It's National Novel Writing Month. During November, the goal is to write at least 50,000 words. Sign up in the library or through our Instagram to receive inspiration, reminders, and check-ins from this event. Happy writing. These were your Apache notes for November 9th, 2021. Have a spectacular day, Singer High.
Spectacular.
That was very short. You used different
Yeah.
word.
Nope, no, not again. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go over how to change what you guys did, your evidence collection, into body paragraphs. Like I said, they're essentially brief writes, so it's not like it should be that much of a mystery to you. You've done 3 brief writes already, so you should be pretty comfortable writing these body paragraphs. So just, again, choose your 4 stories. Again, you found evidence for 5, but you're choosing your 4 best quotes, your 4 best evidence. Not quotes, because technically you'll have 8 because you need 2 per story, but choose your 4 stories that you think you have the best evidence for, that you feel most comfortable talking about. So if you're not super comfortable talking about like 7 floors, if you don't remember it, that's fine. You can go ahead and cut that one. Or the alpha or end of play, metamorphosis, whatever it is that you want to cut. For each one, the start of your body paragraph for each one of these stories is going to be talking about what character transformed and how. You need to also include the name of the story and the author who wrote it. And then the rest of your paragraph is, again, basically you showing it. So this tells me, this the rest of your paragraph shows me. So for an example would be in Isabella Allende's End of Play, we see how Ralph Carlay became a more vulnerable character because of the death of Azucena. So that's what, one second. Williams. I need it all, unfortunately. Yeah, it's showing all of my levels are low. Yep, I know. Okay, cool, thank you. All right, bye. Okay. All right, so that's how you would start off your paragraph. So again, you're not summarizing the story in the first sentence. You're just telling me who the character is you're going to talk about. So if it's metamorphosis, the family, or one of the family members, and how did they change? Who was the author? Who wrote it? So if you have all 4 of those things in your topic sentence, you're good. Okay, so after that, after your topic sentence, then you basically copy and paste your evidence, your first quote, and your explanation. because you already wrote it, so you don't have to rewrite it again. And then after your first quote, you need to have a transition, just like in rephrase, you have to transition from the first quote to the second one. So you need to make some sort of connection, whether you're talking about how they're similar, how they're different. Obviously, if they're transforming, it's probably gonna be what? Different, exactly. So I threw in a couple of sentence frames. Again, I would prefer if you guys try to come up with your own, but they are here for you if you get stuck. But basically, while he, she, or they were this way in the beginning, again, how did they change later on? Or you could start off, instead of saying while, you could start with even though he, she, or they were this way in the beginning, and again, finish your thought. So basically, obviously, you could be more specific. Instead of saying this way, you could say, like, what way were they, you know? So even though they were more closed off in the beginning, obviously that would be better, right? If you specifically said instead of just saying this way. So even though they were like more lazy in the beginning, if you're talking about Gregor's family, you know, they were forced to like develop a work ethic over the course of the novel. So that's how you do the middle transition. So that's how you get from your second explanation to the first explanation to your second quote. So after this transition sentence, then you copy and paste your second quote and your second explanation for that story. And then at the very end, this is the part that's going to be different for you because you've only written like standalone rewrites, you know, you haven't done multi-paragraph essays. So you don't just like write metamorphosis, and this is why he was, you know, and this is why he was different by the end of the story, and then stop. You have to like tell the reader where they're going next. It's like the picture that I drew you early on about the like transitions keep the reader from like falling off a cliff as far as like knowing where they're going. So you need to basically tell me like where are we going next. So if we were talking about metamorphosis, tell me that we're going to talk about Anne of Clay next. So that's what you're going to do for the last sentence of your conclusion or your body paragraph. The last body paragraph is going to transition to the conclusion. So you could just kind of like wrap up and say like, much like the other characters, you know, Rolf Carlet, or much like the other characters, Giuseppe had a life-altering transformation because of the conflicts that he faced. So that's how you get into the last sentence of your last body paragraph. But this is how, for the first 3 body paragraphs, how you would transition to the next paragraph. Although character X changed in X way, character Y's transformation was very different. Again, obviously we can make that better by saying what way they specifically changed, how was it different. So again, just expanding and adding more details. Or you can talk about how they were similar, because some characters might have some sort of similar transformation from one another. Even if it's not exactly the same, maybe they do have a similar, something similar that you want to point out here. So the character's X transformation resulted in X way, which is similar to character Y's transformation. So this is how this character was similar to the next. So that's how you end your body paragraph. Okay, so all these slides are on Canvas in the assignment called I think it's just called Body Paragraph Transformation. But anyways, I'm gonna leave these playing in the background, just like on repeat. So if you guys want to just look up here, you guys can. It should just continuously be changing slides, although it doesn't seem to be right now, so I probably have to refresh it.
Oh, I just did.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. Anyways, so that'll be up there, but again, you have slides, so if you need to look at a specific slide and don't want to wait for that to change, you guys can use the ones on your iPad. Questions, comments, concerns, fears?
We start this on a new document, right?
What?
We start this on a new document?
Yeah, you're gonna start it on a Google Docs, but again, you have to finish your evidence collection first, because the evidence collection is, like I said, 80% of your body paragraph. You're just adding 3 sentences to what you collected and for your evidence. Any other questions? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video because that's all the instruction I'm giving you guys today.